Welcome back to your new favorite podcast, the Becoming Relentless Pod. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe, IFBB Bikini Pro and Team Mahaley Coach, and I am joined by the lovely
Cecily Wesh, Team Mahaley Coach.
And Danielle Kussenberger, Team Mahaley Coach as well.
And we are back today to get you a great episode on signs of bad digestion. So how do you know if your digestion is good or bad?
Or if you're bloated, that's a big thing. If you're walking around with your stomach out, that's nothing we want, right? You're uncomfortable.
Yep.
I used to be that way.
Bad digestion is going to be uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable, the likelihood is that you have bad digestion.
Yeah.
If you're not going at least once a day, I think. I mean, some people just personally, I deal with this issue where like I don't go all the time. Like then those are just signs. You should be going to the bathroom pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm. Having a regular bowel movement for sure. And then like within that, there's also the type of bowel movements that you're having.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, you definitely want to be having at least one bowel movement a day. And you also want to look at kind of the consistency of them.
Yeah.
So
let's get dirty.
Honestly,
we are just getting
I mean,
right
I don't
into
have the chart here for you right now, but you can go on Google and you can literally look up like a poop chart.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see like what the different like levels of different kind of like or bowel movement issues you could possibly be having. Like there's like a scale. I think it goes from like 1 through 8. And generally you kind of want to be in the middle. So you don't want to have like super runny bowels. You also don't want to have super hard bowels because those are really uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
So you kind of want kind of like a medium consistency.
No way. We're really getting in there.
We really are. Yeah, we're diving right in. But like you said, it is important to notice these things because I think some people just go through life and they don't realize what you're excreting is a good sign of what's happening internally. So if you're able to figure that out, look at the chart and make sure where you're falling. Because if you are at a 1 or an 8, that is a pretty severe issue that needs to be addressed. It's not something you can just like shrug off.
And if you are dealing with that, I'm pretty sure either constipated or bloated or just
you have other
like
issues going on.
Lots of symptoms. Personally, Seth knows this. I used to walk around with my stomach out because I was constantly bloated. And like it's gotten way better, but there's a lot of things I've corrected since last year. But yeah, I used to be bloated all the time. And it's honestly like there's like at least 10 things I could say that have helped me besides like meal timing, what you're eating, like the fiber is really big. How much protein I'm eating in one meal is really big. And if it's like different types of proteins, like a shake plus like ground beef and then turkey mixed together in one meal, I don't know if that's just random. Like, dude, like that's just a lot your body has to work through in one moment. So pay attention to what you're eating in a certain meal. Yeah.
Yeah. So with digestion, like obviously it first starts in the mouth. So what you eat is important. That food selection, meal timing, and making sure, like Danielle said, that your protein in like one meal isn't going to be too high because that's really difficult on your digestion. So you don't want to save all of your protein macros for the end of the day and then have it all right before bed. That's a pretty bad idea.
Yeah. And I will say, if you're hitting macros and like it's like 8 p.m. and you're like, dude, I have like 80 grams of protein. Well, okay, I'd rather you have better digestion and just not hit the mark for the 80 grams of protein than stuffing your face when you know like it's probably going to mess up your digestion. Because then tomorrow and the next day and the next day, you're going to be backed up.
I think that's pretty interdependent on each person too, though. Like because I personally can crush 80 grams of protein, not through like solid foods, but
that's
like
a
protein shake. I can crush a protein shake that has 80 grams of protein and chug it, and I'm fine.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for meats, like that's not good.
Yeah, it's very dependent on each person and like kind of learning and knowing like what works for you.
Yeah, but if you're going to, then like probably drinking it's going to be better.
Definitely.
If it comes down to the choice, right? Drinking it is going to be much more
conducive.
Right, conducive. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think, so some of the smaller things people could look at too, because I would assume most people who listen to this podcast are athletes themselves, so they do pay attention to meal timing, meal frequency, all of those things. But even the little acts of like sitting down with your food, chewing thoroughly, not just like scarfing it down, And being really mindful while you eat about how you're starting the digestion process can be a big game changer, because for me personally, that's what I struggled with, is like I was always eating on the go in college. And so I adopted that bad habit of like taking my meal, eating really fast, not chewing, swallowing a bunch of air, like not chewing any of my food
chugging
properly.
your water while you're going through it. Yeah.
Eating my meal, chugging my water, going to class, whatever. And then I'd be like, man, why am I so bloated and uncomfortable? And it's like, because you didn't start that process properly. Like I wasn't being mindful. I wasn't chewing my food. All this air and water was getting into my stomach. And like, no wonder why I was walking around all bloated.
Yeah, same thing for if you're driving in a car and eating at the same time, because your stress is so high. Your cortisol is high. Dude, when we drive, like a lot of us like are paying attention to traffic or not hitting a car if you're like me. So like your cortisol and your stress is just, your body's not focused on digestion. So eating while driving is a big no.
Yeah, you want to eat in a calm, relaxed state if at all possible. Like even if you can avoid like working while you're eating.
That's a big one.
Or like just like not having like stimulants around you, like being on your phone even sometimes. Like just sit down, eat your meal, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like if you struggle with bad digestion, like that can be something that can take it to the next level to like help it improve.
Like nowadays, what I like focus on what I'm eating. So if I'm eating like beef and rice, like I focus on the flavor, because then I know I'm actually paying attention to eating the meal instead of like thinking about other things that could be raising my stress. Yeah. And it helps me enjoy the meal.
It totally does. Because I think what's common, what I've seen a lot of times, people don't realize they sit down with their meal, they turn on Netflix or they're on their phone and they eat, but they're not actually paying attention to like what they're eating. So without having that like element of mindfulness, if your digestion is bad and you're wondering why, this could be something that you could experiment with. Like sit down and actually focus on your meal, be really mindful about it, and eliminate those distractions.
And something that I think a lot of people forget about when it comes to like having bad digestion is how much it can impact your mental health. So like if you are like struggling like mentally, there's likelihood that you have something going on in your gut too, because your gut and your mind are so like interconnected.
Yeah, I agree. And even the other way around, like if you're bloated, then you probably don't have good body image during that time period. Like I know when I'm bloated, like dude, it just goes down the drain. So they work together, like
simultaneously.
It goes hand in hand. It's almost like a cycle. Like if you have bad digestion, you likely aren't mentally going to feel very good. And then if you're getting those consequences of the bad digestion, that's also going to feed into that not feeling mentally very good.
And then also on the flip side, like if you're dealing with other mental stressors, then that can also then impact your digestion as well. So it works in like this weird symbiotic way.
And also like it'll affect your appetite as well. Last year I was constipated for a very long time and my appetite went down the drain, and like that, it all works hand in hand. Yeah. But some things I know that we do, like there's different supplements you can take to help your gut and your digestion, like greens, glutamine, GI, calm,
magnesium.
Do y'all have any others? Like ACV, apple cider vinegar. Before meals.
Honestly, water, timing your water properly.
Don't be
and
dehydrated.
appropriately. That could help a ton. I know that if you wake up first thing in the morning and you feel super dehydrated, instead of reaching for coffee or juice or starting eating, like if you can just hydrate and get some movement in, that can help a ton to just wake your digestion up.
Yes. Even just like after your meals, getting some movement into, that's a huge step to improving your digestion as well. Because if you just sit, it's just going to sit in your gut too.
Yeah.
Get it to move around a little bit more.
I will say too, I think you're going to agree that it's probably dependent on the person, but eating and then going straight to bed can impact digestion as well, because when you sleep, your body's not focused on digesting your food. So make sure you leave some time for it to digest a little bit more before you actually go to bed.
Yeah. Or if you're going to like eat and then go straight to bed, try to get like a 5 to 10 minute like walking session in.
Or drink your calories.
Yeah.
You will have to wake up to pee, which sucks, but
But that also comes down to meal timing, being smart about it. So if your digestion is bad or you suspect that it's not as good as it could be, then these are ways where you can optimize it.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you have any other tips for them?
Don't eat until you're super fucking full.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like, we got to get our calories in for the day. We got to get our macros in. And maybe you have like a meal plan and you have set meal times where you eat certain things. But if you're struggling with your appetite and like if you're eating a meal and like, yes, you should finish it, but don't feel like you have to finish it all at once. Like if you're feeling like super, like if you're starting to feel like really full, set it aside for a little bit, let your digestion calm down, and then you can finish the rest of your meal. Just because you have a meal in front of you doesn't mean you have to finish it all at once. Because I think that if you eat to that point of feeling uncomfortable, that's only going to impact your digestion more in a negative way.
Yeah, I agree. Your body talks to you. Listen to it, because if you want to feel good, you have to work with your body instead of against your body. And then if you are like on a meal plan, then try maybe adding more dense foods. Like honey is really good to just hit carbs, like putting honey in smoothies, on bread, rice, pineapple.
Yeah, don't try to fill it with fluff volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what you said about your body's trying to talk to you, so listen to it, because I think other marks of bad digestion that maybe people don't always connect would be like heartburn or acid reflux, mood swings, having like really intense up and down cravings. All of those things are also signs that like something's going on with your gut health.
Yep.
I agree.
So just listen to your body.
Yes.
Work
and
with
also like listen to it and then learn how to communicate about it if you do have a coach. Because I don't know if you guys have experienced this with like your athletes, but sometimes like in the check-in form I have, how's your digestion? And people will say good. Like if it's good, then it's good. Cool. But sometimes people say it's off. And I'm like, okay, well, what does off mean? Like, like you can't just say it's off. Like we need more.
There's so many ways it could be off.
There's so many ways it could be off. Are you
is
constipated? Are you having diarrhea? Like, just know there's no such thing as TMI when it comes to your coach. We want to know
as much as you can give us all of it.
And we need all the details to help you. So make sure you're giving us the details if there's something that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's so true. Sometimes it's like, oh, digestion was off. I'm like, okay. So why? What happened? What was different about that day? Like more details.
Yeah, I'm like, can you please expand on this? Now, I will say something about digestion, and I don't know what your guys' opinion is on this, but some days there's an off day, like an off chance. But like, I think that when it's an issue is when it's consistently an issue.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like sometimes it's just going to happen, especially when you're in off season or you're just eating out, like eat out next day, like your digestion's off. You know why it's off. Like,
you had food sources that I wasn't used to.
If you go 2 days and like the next day it's like back on, well, okay, like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like you're good.
Yeah.
And like women with their cycles too. I'll get
big time.
A lot of, like some of my athletes will be like, oh, well, I was really constipated, or oh, I had like really bad diarrhea.
I call them period poops.
Yes, exactly. And we all get that. But so I don't know if they just don't connect those dots, but they'll report like digestion was bad, and I'll be like, well, where are you in your cycle? Because I think we're getting close. Like I start to track it for them.
So
I'm like,
exactly.
Do y'all have? So what usually happens with me is I get like I don't go. I get constipated for a little, like the weeks before or days before, and then like your period comes, and then like now you're going,
and then you go.
Yeah.
That's how mine is too.
I just go.
I
just go a little bit more during my cycle.
That's funny.
You have the best digestion.
Yeah, it's just it keeps going and going and giving and giving. It's flowing.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yep.
Marks of a good digestive tract.
Yep.
We love it.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Awesome. Well, that's all the tips I have for y'all. If y'all have any more,
I think that covers like some good basics. Like digestion's such a big topic, so
reach out.
Yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to us. But
yeah, we absolutely can cover so much more in this. I just think this was a very good start, like a
brief
good general
overview.
Check the boxes here if you're still having issues, and reach out in our DMs or comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will talk to you guys again soon.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. We have one more thing before you guys leave the podcast. We drew the raffle winners, and I just want to say thank you guys all so much for all the beautiful reviews that you left, all the DMs that you sent us. Like that truly just means the absolute world to us. They were so nice. You guys have the most amazing positive feedback, and it makes our days.
Yeah, it warms our
does.
heart, and it thank you for letting us impact your lives. And
That means like probably the most.
That's why we do this.
Having an impact on anyone's lives is one of the coolest things we can do.
Being able to help just one person, that just means the world. So thank you guys so much. We drew the winners, and so the 3 winners, please DM us or send us an email, becomingrelentless@gmail.com, I believe. It's in the link in our bio.
When you send the email, also DM us like a screenshot saying, hey, I sent the email, just so to make sure that we get back to you.
Exactly. And so, okay, without further ado, I'll just announce the winners. Congratulations to Katie Higney, KK Jackwards. That was the name of the profile that left the review
on Apple.
So I'm not sure what your name is. It was on Apple Podcast. Please DM us. And Jacqueline Green. So you 3, congratulations. Thank you guys for leaving such beautiful reviews and ratings. And we look forward to hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we're really excited to get to work.
Exactly.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Let's get to work. I love it. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye. Stay relentless.